Think about the last time you were at a busy Starbucks on a rainy Monday morning. The line is out the door, the espresso machine is screeching, and someone just spilled a venti latte all over the floor. In the middle of that caffeinated chaos, there's usually one person who doesn't flinch. They don't huff. They don't roll their eyes. They just stand there, staring at the menu with a calm that feels almost unnatural. To the casual observer, they look like the most patient person in the world. They look like they've mastered the art of Zen. But if you could zoom in, really zoom in on the way their fingers are wrapped just a little too tightly around their phone, you'd see the truth. This isn't patience. It's a specialized kind of armor. It's the stillness of someone who has spent years in a war zone where a spilled latte wouldn't even rank as a minor event. When your life has been defined by navigating the erratic moods of a toxic partner, a volatile parent, or a manipulative boss, your brain undergoes a radical transformation. You stop reacting to normal stress because your system is calibrated for survival stress. You've been through the fire, and now, the rest of the world just feels like lukewarm water. When we talk about the survivors of toxic environments, we often focus on the breakdown. We talk about the tears, the therapy, and the struggle to leave. But we rarely talk about the aftermath of the nervous system, the high-definition reality of living as a person who is functionally frozen. Imagine your brain is a high-end laptop. For years, you had to run 20 heavy programs in the background just to stay safe. You had to run mood detector, exit strategy mapper, language translator for gaslighting, and emotional shielding, all at the same time. Now that you're out, or now that you've survived, those programs are still running. They're draining your battery every single day. This is why you can handle a high-stakes presentation at work with surgical precision, but then you get home and can't decide what to watch on Netflix for 45 minutes. It's called decision fatigue, but for a survivor, it's deeper. It's the exhaustion of a brain that has forgotten how to be off. You see this person in every American office. They are the reliable ones. They are the ones who never complain, the ones who always have a backup plan, and the ones who stay calm when the server crashes. We reward them for this. We call them leaders, but we don't see the price they pay. We don't see the way they sit in their car for 20 minutes after work in total silence, just trying to let the static in their brain settle down. This isn't peace. This is a decompression chamber. They are waiting for the threat to dissipate so they can pretend to be a normal human being for a few hours before the cycle starts again. Have you seen this in someone you love? Have you noticed the way they never seem to fully land in the present moment, even when things are good? It's because a part of them is always watching the door. The hidden engine of this behavior is something that modern psychology is only beginning to truly map out. It's the grief for the version of yourself that didn't make it. When you survive something toxic, you don't just walk away with scars. You walk away as a different person entirely. There is a profound, quiet mourning for the naive self, the version of you who used to trust people easily, who didn't analyze every "I'm fine" for hidden aggression, and who believed that if you were just good enough, everyone would love you. That person is gone. They were a casualty of the survival process. And the person who replaced them, the survivor self, is incredibly effective, but they are also deeply lonely. This survivor's mind operates on a calculated risk basis. Every social interaction is a chess match. If a friend cancels plans, the survivor doesn't just think, "Oh, they're busy." Their brain immediately scans for the real reason. Are they mad? Did I say something wrong? Is this the beginning of the end of the friendship? This is the hypervigilance trap. It's like having a smoke detector that is so sensitive it goes off every time you try to toast bread. It keeps you safe, but it makes it impossible to enjoy the meal. And here is the paradox that really hits home for an American audience. We are a culture that prizes independence above all else. We tell people to pull themselves up by their bootstraps and be their own hero. But for the survivor, this independence has become a prison. It's called hyperindependence. It's the belief that if I don't do it, it won't get done. Or if I ask for help, I'm giving someone a weapon to use against me. They are the person who will move an entire couch by themselves, hurting their back in the process, rather than calling a neighbor. They are the person who will work through a fever rather than letting a teammate take over a task. This isn't work ethic. It's a defense mechanism against the vulnerability of needing someone else. Because in their past, needing meant losing. Does this feel a bit too familiar? If it does, you might recognize the nervous system debt we talked about. This is why the calm survivor is often the one who eventually has a massive, seemingly random breakdown over something trivial. It's the crumpled receipt moment. You've been strong through the divorce, the layoff, and the toxic family drama. You've been the rock. And then, one day, you can't get a receipt to print at the gas station pump, and you just stop. You sit in your car and cry for an hour. People who don't understand the hidden engine would say you're overreacting, but you aren't. That gas station pump didn't break you. It just provided the first safe opportunity for 5 years of suppressed system errors to finally crash the computer. This is the biological reality of cortisol. Your body has been marinating in stress hormones for so long that your baseline is set to emergency. When the emergency is over, the body doesn't know how to handle the quiet. In fact, the quiet feels dangerous. Have you ever noticed that when things finally start going well, when the job is stable, the partner is kind, and the bills are paid, you suddenly feel more anxious than ever? You start picking fights or looking for flaws. This isn't because you're self-sabotaging. It's because your brain is trying to find the threat it sure is hiding in the silence. It's like a soldier who comes home and can't sleep because there are no sirens. You have been trained to thrive in chaos, so peace feels like a trap. This is the most exhausting part of the journey. Learning that quiet doesn't mean imminent danger. It's the process of retraining your amygdala to stop screaming at you when you're just trying to enjoy a Sunday afternoon. But let's look at the aha moment from another angle. There is a hidden beauty in this upgraded state that survivors often overlook. Because you've seen the worst of human behavior, you have also developed a master-level sensitivity to the best of it. You are the person who notices the tiny, genuine smile on a cashier's face. You are the one who feels a deep, soul-shaking gratitude when someone actually does what they said they were going to do. You don't take kindness for granted because you know exactly how expensive it is. Your emotional palate has become incredibly refined. While others are living in a low-resolution world of fine and whatever, you are living in 4K. You see the subtext. You feel the atmosphere of a room. You can sense the truth in a conversation before a single word is spoken. This is the meaningful truth that makes the struggle worth it. You haven't just survived toxicity. You have developed a profound authenticity. You no longer have the energy for fake. You have zero tolerance for the performative drama that most people spend their lives engaged in. You don't care about the office gossip or the keeping up with the Joneses lifestyle because you know that none of it matters when the real storms hit. You have a BS filter that is second to none. This makes your circle smaller, yes, but it makes the connections inside that circle incredibly powerful. You are the friend who people go to when their own world is falling apart because they know you won't flinch. You've been to the bottom of the ocean, so you aren't afraid of the dark. The positive enlightenment here is that your calm isn't a symptom of your damage. It's a byproduct of your evolution. You aren't broken or weird for feeling like an outsider in a world that seems obsessed with trivial things. You are simply someone who has a higher resolution perspective. The goal isn't to fix yourself so you can go back to being that naive person you used to be. That person didn't have the tools to protect themselves. The goal is to integrate the survivor and the human. It's about learning that you can be untouchable to the toxic people while still being reachable to the safe ones. It's about realizing that your hyper-independence was a life raft, but you're on solid ground now. You can put it down. You can let someone else carry the grocery bag. You can admit you're tired without it, meaning you're weak. The meaningful truth is that your journey through the toxic landscape has given you a map of the human soul that most people will never see. You understand the complexity of human nature, the way hurt people, and the way the strongest spirits are often the ones who have been broken and mended with gold. Like kintsugi, The Japanese art of repairing pottery with precious metals, your cracks are where the value lies. You are more beautiful, more resilient, and more real because of what you've endured. So, if you find yourself standing in that coffee line, or sitting in that quiet car, or feeling that sudden wave of grief for the you that used to be, take a deep breath. You aren't losing it. You are finally finding it. You are shedding the skin of a victim and growing into the skin of a sage. The world needs your perspective. It needs people who aren't afraid of the truth, who aren't swayed by the loud noises, and who know that the most important kind of strength is the kind that stays quiet. You have survived the long winter, and now you get to decide what the spring of your life looks like. It won't be perfect. It won't be without its triggers or its tough days, but it will be yours. And for someone who has lived under the thumb of a toxic person, there is no greater victory than the simple, quiet possession of your own life. You are the architect of your own peace now, and that peace is more solid than any strong facade you could ever build. It's the peace of someone who knows exactly who they are, exactly what they've been through, and exactly how much they are worth. And that is truly untouchable. Think of your life as a long, complicated novel. The chapters where you were dealing with toxic people were dark. They were heavy. They were the rising action that tested every fiber of your being. But they aren't the whole story. They were just the setup. You are in the part of the book now where the hero realizes they have the power. Not the power to control others. That's what the toxic people wanted, but the power to control their own meaning. You get to decide that the pain wasn't for nothing. You get to decide that your calm is a gift you give yourself every day. You are the soul mapper, and you've just finished mapping out the most dangerous territory a human being can encounter. Now, you get to lead the way for others. You get to be the one who says, I know it's dark in there, but I know the way out, and I promise you, the air on the other side is worth the climb. This is the ultimate validation. You aren't just okay, you are enlightened. And that version of you, the one who is standing in the rain, drinking their coffee, and feeling absolutely nothing but gratitude for the silence, that is the most powerful version of a human being that exists. Welcome to the other side.